swing music, blues, heart-wrenching torch songs, early rock and roll, girl groups, soul, and R&B.
In spring 1860, the Democratic Party met in Charleston, South Carolina to nominate a candidate for president. Stephen Douglas of Illinois was the man to beat.
A Moment in Time with Dan Roberts.
Where the diminutive Senator Stephen A. Douglas of Illinois, the Little Giant, was concerned, few persons held a neutral opinion. He was said to be a passionate man who evoked passion in friends and enemies. His people had set up their headquarters not far from the Battery, where ancient twisted live oaks dripping with Spanish moss greeted the frantic visitors from north and west who came seeking compromise in an era of impatience and incivility. Douglas had the majority, but the party required 2/3 of the votes to nominate, and there were those in Charleston who would do anything to beat him, even if it meant a Republican victory. There was William Yancey of Alabama, who was determined to bring on a Southern Confederacy. There was Senator John Slidell of Louisiana, who spoke for President James Buchanan. The incumbent, whose capacity for vacillation was almost limitless, opposed Douglas. When Kansas had applied to be admitted to the Union as a free state, clearly reflecting the state's majority, Buchanan, under pressure from the South, had urged that it come in as a slave state. Douglas blocked the president. Buchanan would have nothing to do with Douglas. Next time, the party splits. At the University of Richmond's School of Professional and Continuing Studies, I'm Dan Roberts.
Dan Roberts' new book, Master American History in 1 Minute a Day, a bite-sized romp through 500 years of American history, is available everywhere books are sold. A Moment in Time with Dan Roberts is produced at the University of Richmond with the cooperation of WCVE Public Radio. Our theme music is composed by B.J. Liederman. Our sound engineer is Robert Richards. Transcripts, podcasts, audio, and video are available at amomentintime.com.
(8:52). It's Monday morning here on KSJE. Time for our Monday Reboot segment. That's when I get to speak with Lewis Campbell from Cintigy Computer Systems here in Farmington. He is joining us now with video link technology. Lewis, good morning. Good to see you.
Guten Tag.
There he is. What's going on this morning? You've been watching technology news, of course.
Yeah. Well, Clippy. You remember Clippy, the
Who could
office
forget
emoji?
Clippy, who's over a certain age? Yeah.
Yeah, well, Microsoft sent out a tweet that said, hey, if we get enough responses to this tweet, we're going to bring Clippy back, but as an emoji, not as what he was before. And so far they've gotten, I think they asked for like 20,000, I want to say 20,000, I could be wrong, responses, and so far they've gotten like 19,500 or something, so it looks like it might happen.
Wow.
It looks like Microsoft might bring Clippy back as an emoji in, Windows 11 or something like that. So stay tuned for that. I think that could be fun and interesting.
Right. That was one of the very first attempts to offer some kind of a helpful little bot thing, right? When you were trying to write a letter or do something with Word, and Clippy would show up.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Back in the day, and people either loved him or hated him.
Right,
And there was a lot of
true.
people that hated him, and eventually he was nixed. He got the...
Yeah. Well, now he could be back. So we'll see what happens. Very, very good. All right. Did you see any coverage of the Olympics? I wanted to bring up a story from the Olympics this morning.
But you go ahead, because I'll tell you what, I'm a typical geek. I'm not a sports person, so I have not looked at anything about the Olympics.
This story combines both, Lewis Campbell. It is from the New York Post. I'll read the headline. I'm not sure it's accurate, but horrifying robot plays basketball at the Olympics.
Wow.
So apparently there was a robotic basketball player who actually sank a three-point shot during one of the Olympic basketball events. So.
Oh yes, I'm seeing this story here. Well, that's interesting. So was he actually playing on a team, or was this just like kind of a little exhibition,
just
halftime thing?
Yeah, a little halftime exhibition thing, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, is what he was.
Yeah, he does look kind of scary. He's all black and weird looking. But hey, if he did the job, I don't know. Maybe some sports players are going to be out of jobs in the in the next 50 years or something.
Right. I don't know. Manufactured by Toyota, according to the story. So, but there you go. So there's that story. What else have you noticed? Of course, we had Jeff Bezos went to space on his rocket right after Richard Branson launched from New Mexico. So now we've got two multimillionaires who have gone to space. And
the third sent up a car. And
right, Elon Musk. Yeah.
I got to share with you. I heard a great joke and I got to give credit where credit is due. You know, this was actually on an NPR show called Wait, Don't Tell Me. But one of the comedians said, "Yeah, Jeff Bezos is going to go up there, find Elon Musk's car and key it." And I just thought that was funny. Right.
But he didn't do that. Full disclosure, he didn't do that.
He didn't do that. Yes. Don't want to state that as fact.
But I guess. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's interesting that and you know, there's been a lot of pluses and minuses, a lot of criticism, a lot of support, a lot of people like, well, you know, billionaires wasting money. But again, you know, to me, what's important is that the more people that do this, whether they're billionaires or not, the more this happens, the more it becomes commonplace, and we'll start to see economies of scale, and maybe get, you know, ultimately I think we'll get to the point where it's not going to be billionaires that can do this. It can be other people too. And even though it's right now it's just going into low orbit and coming down, you know, the idea is that this will evolve, and that eventually we'll have real space travel at, you know, consumer level prices, whatever, and be able to do things that will help the planet, like, you know, maybe go back and forth to the moon and mine minerals, and, you know, there's a lot of benefits that can come for the future, you know, in the future from pioneers doing this now. So again, I'm really positive about this. So
sure.
That's my personal opinion.
Understood. Right. I know a lot of folks have been critical about the money being spent to do all this, but I think that's a good point, is that, you know, there's usually some technological advancements that come from this type of thing. The price gets lowered for a lot of other folks, and maybe some other technology about maybe, you know, speeding up airline travel or other types of things that could be a part of this, these subspace type of flights, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think you think in the old days, you might remember, because you're as old as I am, right, that the days where the common way to get around the country was Greyhound or Continental Express, right? Those were your choices. Nobody got on an airplane. You know, only rich people got on an airplane, right?
Right.
Now, nobody uses the buses anymore. It's all airplanes. We've evolved, and I think at some point in the future, you're going to see people probably use low orbit travel to get, you know, we talk about it, you know, the nice thing about it going into space, but another nice thing about low orbit travel is it would be a lot quicker to, you know, do a ballistic run from New York to Tokyo than to fly in an airplane. And I think we may see that someday, where people are going to travel through what I call ballistic low orbit travel, basically.
We'll see. That's true. And hopefully the price will be cheaper. So we'll see.
That's what we hope.
All right. Well, Lewis, we're out of time this week, but thank you so much for joining me this morning. Great to talk to you.
Thank you. Hey, have a great week, everybody.
All right. You too. Thanks so much. That is Lewis Campbell. He joins me from Cintigy Computer Systems on our Monday Reboot segment every Monday at this time right here on KSJE, Farmington, New Mexico. KSJE is the radio home for the Connie Mack World Series. We'll be interrupting our regular programming to bring you live, play-by-play action of all the games. Join us July 22nd through July 31st. We've got the best team of announcers with decades of experience. The Connie Mack World Series on KSJE, 90.9 FM or 103.3 FM on air, or online at KSJE.